Welcome to another episode of Rock Bottom Wellness. I'm your host, Tiffany Flaten. Today I'm on my own talking about the top 8 thyroid symptoms and cure. But does a cure actually exist? This is a topic I know all too well about. In fact, I believe I struggled with undiagnosed thyroid symptoms until I was diagnosed with cancer in my 30s. That's when the symptoms I was having were highlighted, and then in talking with so many other people and reading so many books about this condition, I realized that I had all of them. And so do many others. I could probably talk about 101 symptoms, but I work holistically with people and I really try to help people manage their stress. So we're going to stick with only 8. All right, let's get started. Number 1, fatigue. I think this is the most common one and the most overlooked because it can really be caused by just about anything. Anytime you are a little sleepy, we can't just assume you have a thyroid problem. However, if you have a chronic and debilitating fatigue, especially that you've noticed becomes almost daily and has been creeping in over time, it's quite possible it's a thyroid problem. You may feel like a hibernating bear when your thyroid function is low. All right, the next one, weight gain and weight loss resistance. So when you have a depressed thyroid, your metabolism tanks. Instead, any energy your body has is used for basic function. It's not really up for burning energy you take in the form of calories, and the body is really efficient at storing any excess as fat. This combined with the body's overall decreased energy burning leads to weight gain. Often this can be between 15 to 30 pounds within a year of a hypothyroidism diagnosis. If you eat a healthy diet, get enough exercise, and you're gaining weight, your thyroid could very well be the culprit. In this case, take a look at other areas of your life that could be impacting your weight and find someone who will look at all the thyroid numbers and not just your TSH and your T4. Feeling cold all the time is the third thing. So when you burn calories, you produce heat. When you have a thyroid condition, your metabolism or your calorie burning is downregulated, so it's common for thyroid patients to feel cold when no one else does in the same conditions or place. So this is something I hear about in my family a lot. I can be cold all the time and everybody else is feeling very comfortable, actually even a little warm. So thyroid hormones can crank up the thermostat on brown fat, and brown fat is important in maintaining body heat in cold conditions. If you've noticed you're feeling colder than normal lately, your thyroid could be the reason. This is number 4, joint pain and muscle weakness. So oftentimes people don't really associate joint pain and muscle weakness to a thyroid condition, but when your metabolism is downregulated, it causes a process called catabolism, which is a breakdown of tissue to be used for energy. When this happens in thyroid patients, muscle weakness is a common complaint as well as pain in the joints. Muscle cramps can also be common in thyroid patients even when not associated with recent exercise. This is why it is so important to get the right testing and the right treatment so you can handle the right exercise that is beneficial and helps maintain muscle mass and your joints healthy. I know this was a big concern for me and it's a red flag for me as I realized just walking up the stairs some days was so hard on my muscles. It just seemed like they were so weak and so heavy and weren't helping me at all. So that's something to look forward or look into to see if that is something that might be your situation as well. All right, so number 5, this is the loss of hair. Again, these things I'm pointing out are so common to so many people. So I just want to have you understand the reasons why behind this. So this is one that I hear all the time, and it's a telltale sign for me when my thyroid meds are not on par. It's also one of the symptoms I've noticed is ignored when talking with healthcare practitioners about symptoms that could be related to thyroid. I know when I have brought that up to my practitioner, it's just sort of passed by. It's not really considered, an indication that my medications might not be on par. And so, but I can definitely tell. I can see it. I can, see it falling out. I can see it when my hair is wet. It just is really, really much. It's an impact that I can see, and it's something that I hear about regularly. I'm not really sure why it's not recognized, because it is something, if you read on any source about thyroid symptoms, hair loss will come up. But it happens to about 40% of patients that are 40 years and older. So there can be other hormonal changes that are contributing to this, but if accompanied by some of these other things we're talking about, it's likely that low thyroid could be contributing to this. All right, the next one is depression. So studies have shown that over 60% of women and over 50% of men with a thyroid condition tend to have feelings of depression. This is also true with anxiety. This is one of the most frustrating co-conditions. It typically is treated with medications, which can take a lot to figure out if they work. And you might need several changes for dosing, which is very hard to find that just right level. It's like the Goldilocks situation and could cause even more anxiety and depression just by trying to figure that out. So that is one of the most frustrating symptoms, because you're already feeling so functionally depressed because your thyroid isn't working so well, and then you just feel depressed emotionally on top of it, and one sort of exacerbates the other. And so it's just sort of a vicious circle, and it takes a lot to get those symptoms at bay when it comes to dealing with medications. It's not an easy quick fix, definitely. So you really need to look into that and get some help nutritionally for that. Poor concentration and memory, this is number 7. So brain fog and recall are very common complaints with thyroid patients. That's a huge symptom people complain about with the patients I work with in my practice. Brain fog and memory is something that comes up regularly. So occasional issues with this may not be a problem, but if the problem persists and affects your overall health and well-being, it very well could be your thyroid function. Often people feel their reaction to things is slower and tasks are harder. This is number 8, dry skin and hair. Something, again, many people complain about, and go from different types of makeup lines and skincare lines in order to find just the right thing to deal with their dry skin or their dry hair. But like everything else that seems to be caused by a slowing of function when it comes to the thyroid, our skin cells and hair follicles are slow to turn over. This can appear as dry, flaky skin, as well as dry and unhealthy looking hair. It often breaks off and won't really grow. People have also mentioned to me the hair color just doesn't stick to their follicles, and the expensive trips to the salon have been for nothing. And that did happen to me when I was going through a lot of this in the beginning, where my hair would just break off or it wouldn't grow, and any type of color treatment I would put on my hair, it would wash out in a week. It was really frustrating until I understood why, and then we could figure that out. All right, so I said there might be a cure. So what is the cure? So first, let's just define that. So here's a couple different definitions of a cure. So a cure is to relieve a person or animal of the symptoms of a disease or condition. And then another cure definition would be a substance or treatment that cures a disease or condition. So people often shy away from using the word cure, but once you find out if your thyroid isn't functioning well, we can cure these symptoms in part by looking at nutrient deficiencies. This is where I come in. When you look at cellular level nutrients and analyze them under the lens of the individual symptoms, you can go a long way to giving relief to the patient. It can happen in quite a short order, actually. It's so important to know this information and have a plan that fits your specific needs. Thyroid patients struggle so much and feel unsupported and alone so much of the time. And I'm often the last resort for people. And I'm happy to say most of the people I work with get relief from their condition when they have the right support in play, which may include thyroid meds, targeted nutrition, as well as an assessment of other hormones. So in the end, if you are relieved of your symptoms and you start feeling amazing and improving your overall health and wellness, would you say you're cured? Cure is different for everyone. Cure is different than done. You may have to keep working on your health, but when you understand the information discussed here and how it applies to you, you are going a long way to improving your long-term health. So if there is anything I can do to help and any questions you may have from this issue or this episode of this podcast, please reach out. I'd love to help you out. And I have a free download, like I mentioned in the intro, where you can go ahead and download a free 7-day eating plan to get you started. If you would like more information about getting to your nutrient deficiencies that might be contributing to these symptoms, please send me a message at Tiffany@rockbottomwellness.com, and I would love to help you out. All right, have a great day, everybody. And till next time, eat well and be well.